catching feelings, baby.
Hey YouTube, it's your girl Kee, and I'm back with another video. If you are new to my channel, welcome to my channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe to become one of my little cuties. And so today I'm going to be talking about, it's a bit of a story time about my chronic condition. I don't want you to see these yet. Let me put these over here. So basically I have this chronic illness, and it's called ulcerative colitis, and I've been dealing with it since the ending of 2016. It's been really hard for me to do a lot of things in life when I was beginning to flare. It actually began like after my daughter had her open heart surgery. She was fine, but then I started not really feeling good. I was getting really constipated, and I didn't know why. I thought it was maybe the birth control I was on, but it turns out it wasn't the birth control, but I thought it was the birth control, so I never went back to get my next shot, my next depot shot. So fast forward to 2017, I was sick. I had a little bit of blood in my stool, but I thought it was just because I was so constipated. And you know how if you know what I'm talking about, you get constipated to the point where when you do let it out, it's like a little bit of blood. But the next time, it was just a toilet full with some mucus. If you know what I'm talking about. Sorry to paint that picture, but that's what it was, and that's what it looks like for me. I never knew what was wrong with me. I was in and out the hospital for days and weeks. I was getting very depressed. I was suffering a lot. I had lower stomach pain. I would get really high fevers. My skin, I would break out in hives on my skin. And then when I had my menstrual cycle, it would make me even more sicker. So as far as that was mainly my symptoms. Oh, and I would throw up as well with mine. Some people who have UC, they don't. They just be very nauseous. I was very nauseous, and I threw up with mine. Fast forwarding, I had my first colonoscopy, and what they did is you don't eat at all. They had scheduled my colonoscopy that next day. I was already in the hospital, so I really didn't worry about nothing. So I was already in the hospital when I had mine, so they scheduled mine for the next morning, and I couldn't eat at all, which didn't matter because I couldn't eat anyway. I didn't have no appetite anyway, and they would give me this prep to make me go to the bathroom because they want your stool to be clear. And honestly, that prep was disgusting. I don't know who made that prep, but that prep was disgusting. And so they gave me something else, and it was like more lemony, but it was very, very sour. But I could take that prep more than the first prep that they got me. I couldn't even hold that first prep down. So fast forward to my surgery, well, not surgery, to my colonoscopy. I also had an endoscopy as well, as when they stick the tube down your throat and they look, you know, all in your stomach. It was nothing wrong with my stomach. It was just my colon. So they did the endoscopy and the colonoscopy, and as you know, colonoscopy is they go up your butt and they go in with a camera. They use was it carbon dioxide? Don't get me wrong. And it's like air, and it just spray all in your butt. It's just to make your colon expand. And so, but of course, I don't know. I heard that you can be awake during the procedure, but majority of the time you be put to sleep. And they put me to sleep. They gave me some propofol, and they would put me to sleep. And as you know, propofol, it would wear off. in a matter of, I don't know if it's minutes or anything, but they have to monitor you on propofol. So I ain't gonna lie, being on propofol, that was the best sleep I've ever gotten. I don't like the after effects of the colonoscopy. I can't stand the after effects because you feel so bloated and just gassy and you crampy. But that's from them blowing air all in your colon to make your colon expand. And so I had to wait like a day or two to find out what I had, and the only things that I knew I could have had was either Crohn's or colon cancer, but it was none of those. And he finally told me, he came in, he said, do you know what you have? And I'm like, do I have to guess? So I ended up guessing. I said Crohn's. He said no. I said colon cancer. He said no. And I said, well, I don't know. Then he says, you have ulcerative colitis. And I'm like, what is that? I had no idea what this disease was. I never known anybody to have this disease. Nobody on my mother's side had it, but I did come to find out that my great uncle, he's passed away, he did have it. And for some reason, I got it now. All these generations, and I'm the one who just ends up getting it. Okay. So yeah, it was kind of shocking. They said it could be genetic. It could come from stress. They really don't know how you get it, but they really say it could be genetic. And so I really felt alone because I never knew anybody who had this disease. I didn't know what to do at that point, but just try to heal myself. I would get a lot of people saying, well, why don't you just eat healthier? And that doesn't help. Eating healthy does not help. Because regardless, I can eat some asparagus that is not raw, that is basically like cooked, and I can still flare. So they prefer us to eat cooked vegetables, not raw vegetables. But regardless of what we eat, we still flare. Like other people have, like a lot of people can't drink sodas. I can drink sodas, but a lot of people can't drink caffeine because they'll flare. It's like different with everybody. And with me, I have pancreatitis, so my whole entire colon down to my anus is inflamed. Yeah, that's something. I never thought in my life that I would be able to have something like that. That really depressed me because I didn't know how my dating life was gonna be, because what was I gonna do? Like, I would flare and I wouldn't want to go nowhere, and that would just ruin my dating life. But I did get engaged to this guy, and he also has ulcerative colitis, and that'll be another time that I put in the story time. He also has ulcerative colitis. I didn't know him at all, period. We did not know each other, and he came here to do my cable. He works for Spectrum, and I'm not gonna get no names. But he came here to do my cable, and we got to talking. And so I was sick at the time. I was sort of in a flare. When he came, I looked a mess when I first met him. I did not look my best. I looked a hot mess. And so when he asked me, like, you mind if I ask, like, what the problem is? And I'm like, I have ulcerative colitis. So he stopped what he was doing, and he looked up at me, and he said, you got ulcerative colitis? I got ulcerative colitis. So I looked at my grandma looked at me, and I looked at him, and then I looked back at my grandma, then my grandma looked at me, and then looked at him. It was just y'all, when I was like, I said, is he for real? Like, at first I thought he was just joking, but he was dead serious. He has left-sided colitis, so it's mainly his left side that's inflamed. So I actually got somebody who I can relate to. So if he flares, I can't get mad at him and be like, oh my God, you flaring again? Like, I understand. Like, I'll be like, oh, it's okay, babe, just relax. Like, and he's the same with me. If I flare, he understands me. And that's like, I feel like that's the best relationship that I could ever ask for. And we've been going on 3 years, going on 4 years. So anyways, I got off point. Let me get back to the story. So in 2019, I got pregnant with our daughter, and she came December 14th. She was supposed to be here the 30th. So after I had her, I had a really, really bad flare, and the flare did not stop. So when I went back to my doctor's appointment, he finally said, we're gonna do you a colonoscopy. I want you to do another colonoscopy. And so I had a different doctor prior to my Dr. Partum. He's retired now, but I had a different doctor prior to that, which I ended up switching because I felt like he just wasn't, you know, he just wasn't taking my concerns seriously. Like, I would flare all the time in the hospital, and I just felt like he wasn't taking me seriously. But anyways, so my new doctor at that time, he wanted to do another colonoscopy. So I said, okay, let's do it. So I got the paperwork signed. My fiance, he drove me to my appointment, and you know, got the best sleep. That's only the best thing about a colonoscopy, in my opinion, is when you get to go to sleep. And it's the best sleep I could ever get. So I waited for my results, and so I ended up failing 2 of my classes, my college classes, because I was so sick. And I had to give them like a reason to why, you know, I was just not doing it, you know, like I was just ill. So, trigger warning, you're about to see a picture of my colon. This was my colon in 2020 when I had my colonoscopy. This is my colon. This was my colon. Your colon is not supposed to look like that. Your colon is supposed to be pink. This is not a normal looking colon. This is not how your colon was supposed to look. And so, he started my Entyvio back. That's what I'm taking. I started taking it back in 2018. And so, I'm still on it now. And it works for me. So, it's basically a medicine that you go to the hospital and you take it by IV, and it's 30 minutes. So that's the good thing about it. I don't have to be in the hospital for hours and hours on end just getting medicine. It only takes 30 minutes to get Entyvio. So he told me that my left side was more inflamed. So this was my left side that he had the pictures of. That's my left side, because my left side was more inflamed. They didn't know why. So, you know, we got my medicine together. We got me back taking my medicine, and I got better. I began to get better. And so now, look at me now. But I do want to show some pictures to y'all of how I looked. That will be coming up. I'm gonna put them on the screen of what I went through and what I looked. I did not look like myself. I was 45 pounds. I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety. It was even a point where my stress levels was so high for being so sick that when I was actually put in the ICU, and they asked me, why is your stress for 23, why is your stress level so high? I'm like, I don't know, like, I'm sick, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, it was just a very depressing time for me. I used to get very emotional talking about it, because I will hope to never have to go through that again. Now, hopefully my daughter, she doesn't have to go through it, because me and her father, we both have ulcerative colitis, and I just hope and pray that she doesn't have to go through that what me and her father had went through. I'm also besides ulcerative colitis, I also have chronic anemia because I lost so much blood with my ulcerative colitis. I was already anemic, but now they diagnosed me as chronic anemic. So I have to get my iron and my blood checked every few months, and I did get an iron infusion this year. I had to get 2 bags of iron. I went one Monday, and then you have to wait 7 days to get your next bag of iron. And honestly, it's cold. It's very cold. Iron is very cold, and it's uncomfortable to me, but it made me feel a lot better. I even had to get an iron infusion when I was pregnant with my daughter because my iron had dropped. But yeah, as far as that, I have a colonoscopy that's coming up in October because my new doctor said he didn't like the way my old colonoscopy looked. I was supposed to be waiting for 3 years to get my next colonoscopy because that's what my old doctor had recommended, 3 more years. But my new doctor says no, we're gonna do it this year, which I'm like, well, I don't know, we just can't wait till next year because I don't feel like going through that again. But anyways, so I will be documenting my process before I go on to my colonoscopy, and y'all will see what I have to go through with that. So that's the end of this video. I try to keep it more short, sweet, and to the point. Yes, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be coming out with videos either 2 times a week or weekly. So bye, my cuties.